Welcome to Time Out, Basketball Ireland's weekly magazine show, and what a show we have in store for you. It's the 2010 National Cup Finals from the National Basketball Arena in Tallaght. We had a fantastic weekend. Later we'll see how John McHale did, of course, sports editor of the Evening Echo. He got great reaction on Saturday and Sunday. But before we reach that stage of the competition, we start off with some of the highlights from Friday's Under-18 boys and girls finals.
Marian. Going baseline, draws the foul. Fouls on 32 Green. First foul, Caden Cooper. Scott looking for three. Comes to O'Connor in the open court. O'Connor in the open court. Foul is on 7. The most valuable player for the Under-18 Women Cup Final. No surprise, and a huge third quarter. Led her team with 14 points that quarter. Number 10, Emily O'Connor. Captain Coda Scannell and the Glanmire team to accept the cup on behalf of Glanmire Basketball Club. Women's Under-18 champions 2010. The clock in the first quarter, ball with Lucy. Lucy gets it back, top of the tee, jumper won't go down. Layup on the puck. Murray going down the lane, kicking to McDonald. Steps inside, off the glass for two. And the MVP from the Under-18 men's final. No surprise, goes to the big man from Castle Island. Give it up, number 15, Paul Lucy. Massive 23-point contribution for his team. So now St. Mary's Seamus Brosnan hit that with the high score tonight with 25. Bracy of 6 3-pointers. Seamus Brosnan, St. Mary's Castle Island.
Saturday, of course, is traditionally one of the most hectic days here in Tallaght, with 4 finals to be decided, with the senior men, senior women, and of course both the men and women in the under-20 section. John McHale of the Evening Echo got this reaction after all the games.
Who coaches St. Paul's Killarney, a 12-point win in the cup final. I'm sure you take that any day.
Absolutely thrilled, absolutely delighted. I feel for Drim now because we've been in that position many times before as of day. I'm just delighted today, John, that it was our day, you know. We really had to dig deep. That was one hell of a battle.
They say a good start is half the battle. You got off to a good start. You dominated the early stages and you looked as if you were in control.
We were in the first quarter, very good first quarter, and we stressed that. I felt at half time we had kept them in the game by putting them on the free throw line. They're punishing us, and a lot of the time we put them there with 2 and 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. We spoke about it at half time. We were looking for a good start in the third quarter, but it was them that actually came at us.
And their composure and experience showed. That third quarter was a bad quarter. Drimna got back into it, looked as if they were going ahead, but she recovered.
Yeah, look, there's great leaders in that dressing room. Maree, look, everyone knows how good a player she is. Lynn Jones played a captain's part. I mean, everyone, like, the girls are really determined. They were not going out without the medal, without the winner's medal.
Lynn Jones, a 12-point win in the cup final for your team. Not alone were you captain, but an MVP performance. First of all, you might just tell me how pleased you are with your own performance.
I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled. I know I had a big job today, Mark and Georgine McKenna, but in fairness, MVP could have gone to a number of our players today. Lost a lot of finals over the years and it just wasn't going to happen for us today. We were not losing today. Do feel sorry for Drimna. I know exactly what they're going through, but today was our day and we'll take it.
We spoke to Cormac just a few moments ago, and his priority is the league. So he's certainly not going to rest up. He'll allow you one day celebration. But is the league there now? Can the double be achieved?
We could retire happily now. We'll take the next week off and we'll regroup again. And sure, why not? May as well give a crack off the league as well now at this stage that we're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Team Garvey, St. Mary's, Castle Island. Senior men champion.
John Galvin, Team Garvey, St. Mary's, 12-point win in the Senior Cup final. How does that feel?
Absolutely fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's a hard all year, like, and it's a long time getting here, but we got here in the end. And I mean, we came up here last year when we were badly beaten in the final to come back and win it again. It's absolutely fantastic, absolutely brilliant. I don't know. We're just after winning it. It's hard to say at the moment. It's just all hard work seems to pay off for a day like this.
No, I'm exhausted and I'm sore from watching it. It was some physical battle as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of experience and everything on that floor. I mean, there was a lot of hard hits, a lot of belting. No one was going to give anything away. I mean, Blue Demon stayed with us all the way. I mean, we went up 20 points at one stage and they just kept on at us and they brought it back to 7 and it wasn't looking good. But I mean, we dug deep, we came back again. We got a couple of baskets when we needed them, got a couple of fouls, but it was a hard match out there all the way through.
Brian Clernan, player coach, Team Garvey's. It's a great win.
I think we're fairly happy with that win. We made tough work of it in the end, but I think the unity in the team showed and we were able to pull it off.
You got a great start and really your first half performance was the key to this victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, we looked at hitting him hard down low and really pushing it inside and dominating from there, and I think we did that from the very start. So we got off to a good start and it helped us throughout the game and we needed it in the end because Demons came back
As a
at
former
us.
Demons player, you know, you've enjoyed many cup moments here. Is it harder or is it better when you beat Demons in the final?
I don't know, could you say it's harder or better? It's probably satisfying to beat a lot of the players that I played with. You know, they're a very, very good team and I'm very unlucky. You know, my heart goes out to them, but unfortunately we'll go home to Castle Island tonight and we'll celebrate.
And finally, Brian, the celebrations at the end were special for the likes of Morris. You can see what basketball means to Castle Island and St. Mary's, can't you, here today?
Yeah, I mean they're at it a long time and they won an under-19 cup I think 13 or 14 years ago and they've had a pretty barren spell. So that's what we were gearing to get him back into the national stage and they put a lot of time into it. Everyone has families, you know, they put a lot of commitment and I think it showed with the relief there today.
The victors on a scoreline of 57 to 54.
Claire Rockall, congratulations, MVP in the U20 Cup. A superb win for AOS Security Glanmire. Give me your thoughts on that.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we're just really, really delighted. We just played as a team all the way to the end and we got off to a poor start, like we were nervous and stuff, but just towards the end then we had to hang on and it was a really good game towards the end.
And it was an amazing game. You had 9 points in the first quarter, then you hit 21, then you hit 10, and in the final quarter you were superb again. Why was that?
You know, I don't know, it just comes down to the night, I think. Our plays were working and then Waterford sat in a zone then for the second half, which kind of threw us off for a bit, but luckily we came out and went on to win, so delighted.
Just finally, from your own point of view, you win the MVP, you hit 9 points in the fourth quarter when it mattered, and that's the reason why you got MVP. You got the big basket, so how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I was slow to start myself. I was nervous as well, but we were just lucky that the basket started dropping for me at the end. So.
Mark Scannell, coach of AOS Security Glanmire. It was a great game to watch, very exciting at the end, but you seem to be hot and cold. You started with 9, then hit 21, then hit 10, but in the end your big players came up with the goods.
Yeah, under 20 is a funny grade because you don't get to work as hard, as much with them as you'd like to as a unit because of the 18s and the senior. So like we're probably not as prepared as I'd like us to be at times, and you get a bit of that then, you know, when you're trying to run your bench and when you're trying to get people in and out, goes a bit up and down, but I thought we stuck to the task well. You know, I mean, Wildcats came back at us when we looked at weather the storm, and it could have gone either way, you know, but I mean, like our Melissa Stone there shot the lights out, and it probably my fault for staying in the zone a bit too long, but you know, you live and learn, and you know, we got away with it, just about.
And you started it poorly, but Valley O'Driscoll didn't, and she set the tone really, and she hit your first 12 or 14 points, and that gave the other big players time to get into the game, really.
Yeah, that was our game plan. We always felt that they were bigger than us inside, and we had to get it to Val, and she had to try and set a tone and maybe pick up a couple of fouls on their bigger people. Cathy Kavanagh got in a bit of foul trouble early, and Val got hot, you know, and in fairness, she carried us when nobody was playing well, and then a couple of the others came into it, Emily, Clodagh, you know, Claire in particular, and then late in the game, Claire kind of took over, so it was, we got a nice mix, you know, down the stretch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the under 20 men's cup final winners, Maree from Norway. Let's hear it for them. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the under 20 2010 Cup champions, Maree from Galway.
Liam Conroy, MVP men's under 20 National Cup final. Sounds nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, we finally got it. Oh, I can't believe it. They're a great team, but we thought we should have won last year, and this year I think we were the better team.
How much of a motivation was that for you last year? Last year's heartbreaking defeat.
That's all we needed. 1 point loss, that's all we needed. We knew we had to come back and win it this year, or that was it.
You started slowly. It was a low-scoring first quarter, and then you got a good run towards the end of the second. At the end of the second quarter, which set you up.
We figured out their defense, and we switched to a different play, and we just started hitting some shots, and basically that's what happened.
Just from your own point of view, your dad's coaching, how does that feel?
No, that's great. He usually gets on my back, but sure, we'll leave it for this one.
Sean Conroy coached the Maree under 20 men's team, National Cup champions. How does that sound?
It sounds fantastic, and thanks very much. To be honest, when UCD Marian beat us last year by a point, they had been in 2 finals before that and lost. In other words, they lost 2 before they won 1. And I suppose I was half afraid that we'd have to lose 2 before we won 1 as well. But it wasn't to be, and I have to give the lads credit. They worked really hard, and all the practice paid off, and they're a credit to the club Maree and to Ormo Maree. They're credit.
And did the fact that it was UCD in the final, did that make it easier for you in terms of preparation, in terms of focus, in terms of preparing?
No, because sometimes it's easier to get ready for a team that there's a needle against or that you dislike or something. But in the case of UCD Marian, it would always be a friendly final because we have very strong ties with UCD Marian, and it was always going to be a friendly final, which sometimes can make it harder to play tough. But even though it was a friendly final, the boys did manage to play tough, and I suppose I felt that it was about defence. All good basketball starts with defence, and the guys' defence, I thought anyway, was really good, and we were very happy.
Lindsay Pete, MVP in the cup final. First of all, how does that feel on a personal level?
Personally, I couldn't ask for anything more. You know, all I wanted was that cup for this club. You know, so honestly, whoever of our team would have won this, I would have been absolutely delighted. So I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. So delighted.
It was important that she won today. You know, people be saying that she'd become so close so often.
Yeah.
To lose to Glanmire today would have been just heartbreaking and something that the club would have struggled to cope with.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you know, I got a question there about celebrating prematurely at the end, maybe a bit of showboat. And that, as I said, like that was compliment to Glanmire because it meant so much for us, not to beat them, but to win this cup. But to be fair, they've won so many cups and been a great champions, and you know, it just sort of was final redemption for us that, you know, we've been thereabouts challenging them and we never took them to the final hurdle, and we did today, and we showed up today and we played, and I'm delighted for those girls, I really am. I'm delighted for Mark Ingle. Fair play, coach.
You got the MVP, but there was some great performance from Shauna. Your big girls aside did great damage, and credit to you for getting the ball to them and exploiting their weakness.
Yeah, I had a good period in the first half, but then the second half I got in foul trouble, you know, some silly fouls. Then Shauna stepped up, and Maree stepped up. You know, Maree maybe was, you know, for such a big girl, she doesn't get the benefit of the doubt with the calls, you know. But she came up with two very, very important baskets for us in the fourth quarter. Like that, helped build on that and really probably knocked them clear flat out, and you know, help us win the game. Shauna was fantastic. She has been all season. She's twice the player, 3 times the player she was last year. You know, she just keeps working so hard. Suzanne Maguire finally, you know, she's been fantastic all season again. I'm delighted for Emma Riley. Everyone, I can name everyone on the team, you know.
And finally, Lindsay, award for Mark Ingle. He's been through so much with this club. You know, to beat his old adversary, Mark Scanlon. I'm sure that means as much to him as well.
We made a CD of songs, and it was Bob Marley Redemption. Today is his redemption song, and we'll sing it long into the night tonight for him. You know, he's been a great servant to Irish basketball. He's been a great servant to this club. He wants nothing but the best for his girls, and today we delivered for him finally, and repaid him for all that. So,
Ingle, Coach DCU Mercy, National Cup champions for 2010. Nice feeling, I bet.
That sounds very nice. Thanks, John. You know, very nice feeling, obviously, because we've, you know, we've a checkered history with the cup, you know, and in our very young history, you know, we've lost, as everyone knows, 4 semi-finals, and that was a big hurdle for us to get over this year. But I always felt we get the opportunity to get into the final. You know, we really wanted to play Glanmire. You know, they've been great champions, worthy champions, you know, and in fairness, you know, we weren't that far away, with some great players lost on both teams, and both clubs had to take stock and maybe rebuild a little bit, and we were probably lucky we got 1 or 2 back, you know, that maybe Mark Scanlon, Glanmire hadn't got the chance to do. I felt the difference in the game was probably the rebounding and maybe a little bit of depth, you know, because it was extremely hot out there. I don't know if people appreciate that when they're watching on the TV or sitting in the stands. But I thought it was a really good basketball game. I thought we won because we were the better team.
You mentioned your inside game. You had Sean O'Connell shooting the big threes on the outside, and that was the difference. He executed very well. Lindsay got the ball to the big guys time after time, and you did take advantage of your height, and you must get credit for that.
Well, you have a lot clearer picture of that game than I have, you know, but I remember just saying pound it inside and kick it out for shots. You know, like corner jumpers were killing us in the first quarter because Glanmire were rebounding and running down the other end. And everybody knows, like the National Arena, it's very tough to shoot from the corners, you know, so you've got to have a specific game plan, and I needed to remind 1 or 2 players about what the game plan was.
Fourth quarter, Glanmire made their run again. They were back to 3, and they had a great opportunity of a layup, and Maree made the wrong option, went to clear Rockall, and he came down, and Becky Woods got fouled. Huge kind of a moment in the game, I thought, from the point of view.
Yeah, it was
making it a dramatic finish where Glanmire were kind of in the ascendancy, or it gave you back your composure.
That's the way basketball is, and that's why we all love the sport, and that's why it's so exciting, because it hinges on 1 or 2. You know, I thought that was a big emotional moment, her getting fouled, because, as you said, had they scored, I think they would have went 1 up. Yeah. Was that right?
They'd been 1 down. Glanmire would have been 1 down.
1 down, you know.
They made the last 5 baskets, or 5 points.
Yeah, you know, so you know, that was a big swing, and like that's what games are made of, you know. You know, sometimes ball goes with you, sometimes it doesn't.
Jermaine Turner, Cup Final MVP. Personally, first of all, how does that feel?
This is gratifying. We said all week, all through the Cup, this is redemption for us. You know, I know it wasn't with Colesta last year, but it was all about redemption. They lost to Demons last year, and give Demons a lot of credit. You know, they're the champions until you beat them. Today we want to come out and just prove that we can beat them.
Where did you get that start from? You were just like Usain Bolt out of the traps. You know, you just took off and just blew them away.
Well, all week we practiced defensive intensity, and I think our defense turned the whole game on its head. We just showed that we want to give them easy shots, no layups, no open threes. We want to key in their key players, Coughlin, O'Reilly, and the American, of course.
You were so far up at halftime. Is it hard to maintain your focus, you know, and still go through your plays and still be as intense?
Absolutely. But we stayed hard on the guys. We got a lot of veterans. Myself, Patty Kelly, Damian Sealy, we stayed hard on the young guys to make sure to maintain their focus. I did my history. A lot of teams blew 30-point leads in the Cup Finals before.
And finally, the league is there now. Is that the next option, not the next goal?
Absolutely. First things first, we take care of the Northern Conference. We'll get that out the way, then we'll focus on the playoffs.
Mark Keenan, coach of Dark Colesta. What a win, what a performance.
Yeah, absolutely over the moon. We set our stall out from the word go. The guys were really up for it, you know, having lost last year. And we knew, you know, we just had to come out with complete intensity. Defense was going to win us the game. I think it won us the first half in terms of keeping them to 24 points. Obviously, our offense, everything was falling for us. I'm just absolutely thrilled for the guys, and you can see the delight and the camaraderie within the team. It was a total team game. So absolutely thrilled.
And from a coaching perspective, this is coaching perfection, really, isn't it? Like, I mean, to win a cup final by 30 points practically and have it over at half-time, you must get great satisfaction. The defence worked, your offence worked.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you, my job was very easy today because the guys just went out from the word go, you know, in first gear and straight into top gear. So it just made my life a lot easier on the sideline. It's a lot comfortable as a coach when you have a 30-point lead. So thrilled.
Your start was just so explosive, but did you expect that when you consider, you know, Demons had the two Americans, they could waste 10 fouls, they seem to have all the advantages, they were cup champions. Where did this kind of performance come from? You know, because your league form, you haven't been that explosive, have you?
I know, we've been a bit up and down, but if you look at our cup games, the guys have been really up for every cup game. So looking at that, I knew the guys would be up. No, the game didn't pan out. I thought it was going to be, let's ease our way in, you know, it's going to be a tight game. Fourth quarter, maybe the pressure will turn up, you know, in defence and we go and win it then. But I'll take it as it came.
How hard is it at half-time when you're that far up to keep them motivated? You know, you say the things, but players don't listen when they're 25, 30 points.
I know, it's very hard. But having said that, we had the experience of last week in Belfast being 38 points up at half-time. And we kind of let our concentration slip, and we let them back, you know, the Elks back in, you know, down to 20. So, you know, we were able to remind ourselves that, guys, it's not over. You know, we need to put 40 minutes of basketball together, not 20. Let's go and win the second half as well.
That's all we have time for of this special National Cup Finals edition for 2010. So much to look forward to with the league finals in March. But they're bringing the curtain down here on the 2010 National Cup. Thanks to Jolie, of course, on camera, and John McHale for his expertise over the weekend. Until next time, goodbye.